Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for coming out here on a Wednesday night. You're joining us live here with about 8 minutes left to go in practice for the Racing for a Cause super late models here in the fall season. Joining me, as always, my good friend Rick. How are you, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing fabulous. I'm excited to be down here in Florida with you. I love USA International Speedway, Chris. This is a really fun track. We're going to be under the lights here. We got the Free Willy 100 here today.
Yes, we do. The Free Willy 100, and it's brought to you by, how about this, AJ Hamel. And we want to thank AJ Hamel. And I say we get him in here for just a quick second. I do have a couple other things we have to address before the race starts, but let's get AJ on in here. AJ Hamel. Oh, AJ. Oh, boy. He is muted, Rick. You know how hard it is to talk to somebody who's muted?
Very hard.
We'll give him a second here. But once again, we do want to thank AJ for setting up this race to be broadcasted live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I said we had a couple of things to address, and well, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. We got some bills to pay. We'll be right back. Want to go ahead and thank Rocket Racing Setups for joining us here, becoming a channel sponsor here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If that's something that might tickle your fancy to become a sponsor of the channel, go ahead and check us out over on Facebook, Turn 3 Racing Network. Send us a message and we will shoot you some details. And again, got to thank AJ Hamel. Rick, let's go ahead and start talking a little bit about last week, because man, there was a guy in Colin Allman. He took the field, took the pole, and never looked back.
Yeah, nobody really had anything for Allman last week, Chris. Right now, sitting in second on the speed charts on practice here. But we might see the same thing here. I mean, if he gets out front in that 67, man, he is a hard contender. And he's been hard contending all season long there. Then we had a break, and he just broke out and did it all at the season opener, man. It was just amazing to see what he did.
Yeah, the FSM 67 sitting, well, he's second quickest here during the practice with, again, about 5 minutes to go here. And again, we are at USA International Speedway, 0.6 of a mile track located in Florida. Rick, was this one of the tracks you were able to check out?
No, it's not there no more, bro.
Oh, that's right. It's gone. Jeez. I'm thinking of Lakeland for some reason. Anyways, yeah, Colin Allman last week had a heck of a race. Brian Hacker started in second spot, but wasn't able to hold on to it. Actually fell back through the field a little bit. There were some crashes last week, but what else are you going to expect? We're looking at starting 25 cars here strong tonight, Rick. That's a huge number.
That is a huge number, Chris. I mean, you and I and Andy started this league, I don't even know how many years ago, but it's been a few at least. And our first race, we had, I think it was 9 people. And Andy's just been growing it week in and week out, season after season. Now 25 cars out here. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, it is going to be a lot of fun here to watch tonight. Again, it's the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model Series Fall 2020 edition. Headed up by Andy Lambert. Want to thank Andy for inviting Turn 3 Racing Network to go ahead and broadcast this season for him. Also, last night, Racing for a Cause in their throwback series, want to throw out a big shout out to Steve Baker. Congratulations on win number 2 of 2 here for the throwback series last night.
Yeah, back-to-back wins last night, Chris. It was an exciting race at Hotlanta. We got another one coming up next Tuesday. It's going to be broadcasted right here on Turn 3 Racing Network, I believe, with Darkside Dave again. And we're going to Darlington, man.
I already feel like I got my stripes last night, but well, we'll see what Darlington brings. Probably more.
Probably.
Probably more. Well, pretty excited about this one, Rick. It's going to be 100 laps around this little short track. And then I've got a night off from racing, Rick, and then right back to it, this time in real life here at the nation's site of excitement, Thunder Road, Barrie, Vermont. Going to be helping out a good friend of mine, hopefully for a win. That would be huge.
That would be huge.
You haven't said yet. Did you think you want to go?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe. I got some stuff I got to get done.
Dude, this is at night.
I know. There's still stuff that I got to get done.
All right. Well, here's Brian Hacker. He had a good run last week. He led some laps. but not able to hold on. And actually, no, he did not lead some laps. Excuse me. No, Allman did lead them all. Hacker was up to second spot, but ended up falling away. Yeah. How about this guy right here, Chris Stump, in his number 98, taking out onto the track at Toyota. Chris Stump, Coca-Cola machine. Humanize the badge, Rick.
Humanize the badge. Lots of great causes out in cars. I can't see them right now because I got to refresh my trading paints again. Great thing to have, and I like the idea, but it doesn't work. Chris Stump to me is just in a black eye racing car.
Oh boy,
makes me sad. But I know that it is Humanize the badge, and I've seen that paint multiple times, and it looks good. Chris, I just noticed AJ Hamel no longer muted. I think he was muted because he didn't want to talk to us, but they got 1 minute. Want to bring him up, or is that enough?
Yeah, we got enough time. Let's do this really, really quick because a minute 20 here. AJ Hamel, Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, bud. Well, we wanted to get you up here to thank you for sponsoring tonight's race presented by you here at USA International. Why don't you go ahead and shout out to your foundation?
Yeah, tonight we got the Free Willy 500 here at Lakeland, Florida, not too far from Orlando, and that god-awful place that keeps the orcas captive. So that's why I picked the track. It's pretty close proximity, and I can't stand New Smyrna, so close enough. What do we got? EmptyTheTanks.org. They're working to free the captive orcas still around the world. We got, I don't know, I've lost track, 25 or so in the U.S., maybe more, who knows. But anyway, just trying to bring awareness to those guys. EmptyTheTanks.org.
Awesome, bud. Hey, last week didn't have exactly the run you were looking for. You were out early. Better luck this week to you?
Yeah, in the unfortunate place of being near some guys who weren't looking past their hood pins and couldn't find their brakes, so had an early night. But that's all right. Takes all the pressure off. We'll just ride around the back tonight and see what happens. All
right, bud. Well, thank you once again for really helping out with tonight's race as far as picking the track, paying for the track, and, well, paying Rick and I to be here.
No problem, as always.
All right, AJ, good luck out there, bud. As we are all done with practice, getting ready to line up the field, Rick, something a little different here. We're going to start inverting fields.
Yeah, this is where things get fun. Andy always comes up with little tricks to keep these guys on their toes season after season, and this is going to be pretty good.
Yes, it is. And, well, I think it's good enough to probably start the grid music. Let's do it. Starting on the pole tonight, it's going to be, well, let's back up. I don't know why it does that. On the pole tonight, though, how about this? The 81 of Jimmy McIntyre Jr. to his outside, the 10 car of Travis Wright. Starting inside row number 2, in his 98, it's Chris Stump. Rex Hoyle in his 54, going to be starting to the outside. Inside row number 3, in his 11, it's going to be Brian Hacker, the 52 of Jeff Dillon, starting to his outside. Inside row number 4, in his number 26, it's going to be Kevin Dillon. Colin Allman, a little off pace here for a qualifying run. Allman going to be starting in 8th position. Andy Lambert going to be starting his 72 car in 9th spot. Scott Austin going to start in 10th. In 11th spot, it's going to be Al Smith Jr. And to his outside, it's going to be Mike Holtzclaw. Come on.
And in 13th position, we got the 15 of Jeffrey Clifton on his outside, the 85 of Jeff Stiles in 14th. 15 is going to belong to the 53 of Colin Phillip. In 16th place, Wild Wayne McDuff III out of New York there in the 1 car, going to be starting 16th. Michael Frabert qualified the 36th and 17th with Justin Rigsby on his outside and his 99 Attitude Esports machine in 18th. James Somke in 19th. Mark Frabert in the 44, 20th. AJ Hamel in the 18th, going to be starting 21st here tonight. Rod Liddell in the 80, 22nd. And then we got Dillon Blankenship in the 05 in the 23rd position. Travis Pryor in the 2, 24th. And rounding out that field, Chris, it's going to be the 45 of Justin Smith. 45 and 25. There we go.
Yeah, that was it. And big field here tonight, Rick. 25 drivers. Thanks for picking me up there. Here we go, guys. It is going to be a good one here tonight. 100 laps out of the RFC. Super late model cars. These guys really know how to get around these short tracks. Do want to shout out to Doug Wasaki. Doug Wasaki, longtime member of Racing for a Cause. And Doug had himself a little bit of a surgery here today. And hopefully everything is working out just fine for him as we're getting ready to go to the green flag. Jamie McIntyre Jr., he has got the inside and we're going green. McIntyre into turns 1 and 2. Chris Stump right behind the 10 car of Travis Wright. Going to be stuck on that outside line. Definitely not the preferred line around this little track. Here comes Chris Stump. Stump coming out of turn 4. He is side by side with Wright. Wright falls back one more spot. Brian Hacker now takes a look to the inside. Can't get there. Wright shuts the door. Wright doing a good job holding on to that 3rd spot. Now the battle for 4th. It's Hacker to the inside. Rex Hoyle to the outside. And at the line, it is going to be Brian Hacker. Hacker rolling that 11 car around this track very quickly here so far. Behind him, how about it? It's Kevin Dillon in the 26. He's battling now with Rex Hoyle, and he gets around the 67. Colin Allman looking to join him and pick up another spot.
Right now, Rex Hoyle having some trouble being on the outside there as the 67 of Allman gets around him. And here comes the 52 of Jeff Dillon, Chris, working that inside lane right behind them. Andy Lambert trying to set up, figure out what he wants to do. And then, of course, we got Al Smith Jr. with the Jaws car.
Absolutely. We got a battle side by side right now, and it's over already. Colin Allman goes down to the inside of Travis Wright, right down 4 spots from the beginning of this one. Travis Wright sits in the 6th spot. He's being followed by Jeff Dillon, Rex Hoyle. Andy Lambert in 9th spot. Al Smith Jr. rounding out the top 10. Scott Austin in his 5 car. Looking to try and have a solid night here tonight. Ooh, touches the back bumper of Al Smith Jr. Almost had trouble coming into turns 3 and 4. Everybody held on to it. Everybody stays straight.
I want to give a quick shout out to all the fans watching live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network and YouTube land. Linda, we see you. Kill Car 1, good luck. How you guys doing tonight? Hopefully everybody's doing well. It is Wednesday. It's hump day already, Chris.
Yeah, it is. It's going really quick, and I would dare say it's going almost as fast as these super late models around this 0.6 of a mile track known as USA International. Linda, want to thank you very much for coming on out. Skittle Car, thank you as well. Good to see you out there. It looks like, Rick, we may have had one driver that may have gone into a little bit of a problem, but we stay under the green flag. Rob Liddell is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, Liddell had a little bit of an issue there. Kept the caution from coming out, though, but lots of damage on that 80, and it looks like James Somke having issues, Chris. It doesn't look like he started the race here tonight. Or no, he's out there. He's just in pit road.
Yeah, Somke sitting on pit road, didn't take the green flag, and look at the damage on the 80 car. The front end all torn up, and you can see the scrapes and scratches up front. It's still McIntyre Jr. holding on to that front position. Chris Stump, Brian Hacker making up the top 3. Here comes Colin Allman up 4 spots to 4th spot.
Lots of change. I mean, Chris Stump, Chris, in the Throwback Series hasn't had the first two weeks that he deserves, and just been having bad luck. But he's here tonight to try to make his presence known as he's sitting in that 2nd position, right behind McIntyre Jr. But he's got to be careful because last season, Brian Hacker was quite on a tear. And he's right there in 3rd. So lots of interesting things going on already.
A little short track action to keep your heart pumping here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming on out here to the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model Series. We're working USA International down in Florida. And, man, good little track. Too bad it's not around anymore now that I get my brain right. Oh, we had a little bit of a wiggle there. It looks like it was out of Travis Wright, but the 26 of Kevin Dillon was also able to get around the inside. Oh, the 11 of Hacker gets into the 26 treble on the front stretch. Oh, big time trouble as the 26 almost went around. And Brian Hacker had to get on the binders and turn out from underneath him. Let's go back. The 26 working the inside. Brian Hacker there. The 26 kind of pinched up on him, Rick, and then goes up over the roof. Brian Hacker, no place to go. And it is all done from there. The 26, Dillon, had a good showing last week. Actually beat his brother last week. Now, so far tonight, his car is beat up a little bit, and he went up and over Brian Hacker. Hacker, Rick, it looks like he may be on pit road to get a little repairs done. Don't know what might have happened to the drive shaft, rear end, or some of those suspension components underneath, but Hacker taking advantage and down on pit road. He's going to want to get out there quick, Rick, because, man, that pace car, it ain't waiting for anybody here tonight.
No, it doesn't. I mean, that's one downside to the short track. Now, of course, everybody who's new here on Turn 3 to the super late model division here at Racing for a Cause, these guys are not allowed to take tires throughout the whole race. It's 100 laps of racing. It's going to be green flag. As you can see, we are on lap 14 right now. The caution laps do not count. But these guys can go in, they can get gas, they can fix their damage, but no tires.
Yeah, that's right. No tires at all. And by the time you're done with about, 60, 65 laps, man, are you screaming, hey, guys, how about some tires? And Andy looks at everybody and says, no.
Already got them. Just use them.
That said, I guarantee you, if he was down in pit road with his driver on the real racetrack and he came down for tires, he wouldn't hesitate. But we don't see that very often on the short tracks, and that's very cool too. We are under caution. It's caution number 1. Lap 13, it came out. And the pace car is moving on. Well, I guess it came out on lap 14. I don't even have to think about this anymore, Rick.
No.
Because, caution flags laps don't count. Out in chat says Travis Pryor. Well, Travis is sitting right there being scored in the 18th spot right now. And, good looking car. We'll see if he's able to make his way towards the front. AJ Hamel right now, Rick, being scored as the race leader. We're going to see if that sticks. We know there's some kind of odd things that happen to the overlays as we run around this field without the laps counting. So we're going to have to wait and see. But we got a couple of cars coming around, or one car. Yeah, one car comes around. Make it 2. They're going to join the tail end of the field, and it does look like AJ Hamel in that wheel research machine. The 18 going to be our race leader. Or not. I don't know. What do I know?
Now the lap. So this is something new that we're all dealing with here, guys. This is the first league that Chris and I broadcast, but now it's saying lap 13. Now it's saying 14. I'm going to go with 14.
Yeah, okay. The 01 goes by, and that does bring the 18 to the back bumper. 26 falling back into his position. We're going to find out where he ends up.
Yeah, right now I'm listening to Race Control Radio, Chris. The yellow flag has come back out once again for another circuit around USA International Speedway here tonight. They're just trying to get the field all set up, right? We've seen this happen at our local track a couple of times. Guys get excited.
Kind of forget where they were driving, who they were driving in front of, and who they were driving behind. It's an easy thing to forget. But I'm sure that they're going to get this thing going as the pace car lights now have dropped off. But we're only seeing about 6 cars behind the pace. And there they are again. Lights on. Why don't we go ahead and try and pay some more bills here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Guys, we're going to be right back. Yeah, it looks like the field is starting to look about right. McIntyre is now behind the pace car. Chris Stump to the outside. And Rick, I believe that is right.
Yeah, it just took a little bit. Drivers got it all figured out. Poor Andy, he's driving and adminning at the same time.
Yeah, no thanks.
But right now, it is looking like Jimmy McIntyre sitting on the one position. Chris Stump, Colin Allman, Travis Wright, and Jeff Dillon in the 52, rounding out that top 5. Then we got Rex Hoyle, Andy Lambert. I believe it's going to be Al Smith Jr., Jeffrey Stiles, and Scott Austin rounding out that 10. And we are back under green once again.
Under green one more time. And McIntyre had a really nice restart there, but so did the third place starting spot. Colin Allman, as he has moved into second place. Chris Stump, Travis Wright running in the top 4. Jeff Dillon rounds out the top 5. Then after Dillon, you've got Rex Hoyle in the number 54. Al Smith Jr.'s made his way up 4 spots into the 7th position. Andy Lambert right on his heels. And Jeff Stiles and Scott Austin battling it out for 9th position behind them. It's a battle for 10th. Battles all over the track right now.
Yeah, but the only battle that hasn't happened yet, J-Mac, ooh, we're under caution.
Caution out again. And we are going to have to find it. Let's take a look here.
Oh, it might be Rigsby?
That's what I'm looking at. The 99 Rigsby. Oh, yeah. Oh, big time damage out of the 99 machine. And the 18, our race sponsor here tonight, Hamel, also got involved. Look at the carnage on the bottom of the track. The 1, the 01, and many more. The right front of the 18 tore up the 99. The hood is pushed in. The fender's pushed in. Oh, man, big time damage once again here from USA. So 2 very, very quick cautions, Rick, within 2 laps of each other. And man, oh man, what do you do?
Yeah, they're crying in Bowling Green, Kentucky right now. Rigsby, lots of damage on that number 99 Moya Moya Foundation. Ian's batted calf meat shopping. I like meat. I need to go to Kentucky. Rigsby just not having the night. Now, one guy that was happy, well, maybe not happy, but kind of relieved a little bit here to catch his breath is the 81 of J-Mac. Hudson Falls, New York driver. Out there, he was getting chased down by Allman quite heavily there, Chris. So now he's get to reset it a little bit.
And Allman's going to be in a tough position here, Rick. He's going to be starting on the outside. The 81 going to have that little bit of a leader's advantage where he's going to have control of the field. And Chris Stump is going to be right behind him. You know Stump isn't going to lay off the throttle.
Oh, he's not. And I mean, that's one thing that I would be a little nervous if I was in J-Mac's shoes, Chris, in that cockpit of the 81 machine, because Allman's pretty good at getting a good start. I mean, we saw it last week. Of course, he was the leader, so it is all on J-Mac, but I don't think we're going to see Allman sleeping, that's for sure.
No, I don't think so. Want to go ahead and thank everybody right now who's out there on the Turn 3 Racing Network here live on YouTube. You are watching the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model Fall Series coming at you live from the USA International Speedway. It's Chris and Rick up in the booth bringing you all the action right now. We're under caution number 2 as they happened very quickly. One on lap 14, one on lap 16. Should be going back to green flag racing here in just about 2 laps. And Rick, there is plenty of drivers who have been making some moves out there. And as soon as scoring and timing comes through and starts making sense again, we'll be able to talk about that. Big thing right now, though, the 18 of AJ Hamel, heavy damage, and he just kind of got caught up in the cyclone that happened out there on the corner when who was it that went around? It was the 99, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Justin Rigsby, he went around and kind of triggered a little bit there, and well, it happens. Short track racing at its very best.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. I mean, short track racing, these guys, I mean, tires wear down, Chris. It gets a little slick out there. I mean, thankfully we're under the lights here tonight, but you know, those tires, they take quite the beating. I don't know.
Well, so far they shouldn't have heated up too much if they've had multiple laps here within the last couple to try and cool them back down. That is going to help everybody out as we go back. The pace car is down on pit road, getting ready to go back green flag, and J-Mac Hoyle, oh man, is he on the throttle? Allman trying to stay there in second spot, and Chris Stump kind of left sleeping Rick. He is in a battle right now for third spot. Travis Wright to the outside, Wright trying to hold on or at least come back. Can't quite do it. We're under caution again. Oh boy. All right. Your guess is as good as mine.
85 gets into 72.
You're thinking Mike Holtzclaw? Is that right?
No, that would be 85. Of course, now my thing, everything's changing really quick here.
Oh, yeah, the 85. Yeah, we're going to go back and watch that from Andy's point of view here. As Andy Lambert to the outside in the 72. And the 85, it looks like, oh boy, this is going to be a tough one to call. Let's take the old chopper cam for a ride. As we're watching the 72 and the 85 to the inside. The 85 pops onto the throttle, and boy, I just don't think he was turning. And oh gosh, the 22 upside down, Rick. While that all happened, Mike Holtzclaw ended up on the hood. Oh, excuse me, on the roof. We're gonna follow him around. Let's see what happened to Holtzclaw. 72 goes around. Oh yeah. Oh, look at him piling. Oh my goodness. Ends up on all four. I guess that's something. And drives away. Oh, Mike Holtzclaw not gonna stop yet. But there are multiple drivers coming down pit road this time, Rick. Some serious damage happening about midfield on back.
Yeah, lots of drivers a little beat up here, Chris. It's turning into an interesting night. We're on lap 17 of 100. That's another thing, you know, I mean, drivers are allowed to go down, like we said earlier. They can go down, they can repair damage, they can get fuel. And it's a long race. And, you know, last season, guys were, you know, the caution laps counted. So, you know, it kept ticking off. But now they really got to watch that fuel, and they got to be very careful. I mean, a lot of guys, if you don't have that damage where you got to go in and fix it, Chris, it might kind of slip your mind a little bit to go down and at least top off with some fuel. But it's going to be real interesting here.
Well, I think we're okay right now. You know, 3 cautions, relatively quick cautions. As it was lap 14, lap 17, and lap 18. Nonetheless, a lot of damaged cars out there. Looks like Rob Liddell, Andy Lambert, Wayne McDuff, all on pit road after that one. Liddell looks like he's coming on back out on track. Of course, the caution before that, AJ Hamel, Justin Rigsby. As the pace car lights shut down, we're getting ready to go back under the green flag. As I mentioned, the cautions here are very, very quick. And I don't know, Rick, they may not go this time because cars are not folded in 2x2. They are still running single file. Pace car comes down. I guess we are.
After 3 cautions, Chris, they start with the single file restarts. So.
And start they are. J-Mac up front, hitting into turn 1, right down to that yellow line. Great line out of the 81 car. He has led every lap here so far. Colin Allman right behind him. He has been on a tear. He's up 6 spots. since the beginning of this one. Biggest mover of the night, though, Rick. How about it? It's Travis Pryor up to 8th spot. 16 positions gained so far in this race.
Yeah, playing it smart. I mean, Travis doing kind of like what I do, just kind of stay out of the trouble and works his way up as people crash, and it's working for him. And of course, he's been charging pretty hard too, and that's just huge, Chris. Up 16 positions here in 19 laps, now 20. I would take that as a good night so far.
The 81 has a mirror full of the 67. J-Mac trying to hold off Colin Allman for the race lead, and the 81 is doing everything he can. Right now, Rick, what does that include? Just staying on the bottom just long enough. But here comes Allman. Allman with a run going into turn 1.
Yeah, Allman made a really good move there, Chris. As you saw, he was right on the back bumper of J-Max 81 and then just made a really aggressive move to take away that inside lane away from McIntyre. So far, it's working for him as McIntyre finally gets in behind Allman. Now Allman, the race leader here at the line.
So Allman takes over lap number 21 as we are working a lap 22 right now. Colin Allman, your race leader. Jamie Mack is going to be second. Travis Wright third. Chris Stump and Dillon going to round out the top 5. Want to thank everybody once again for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network live here on YouTube every Wednesday night, bringing you the short track action of Racing for a Cause super late models.
No shortage of action here from USA International, Chris. These guys putting on a show. I think they finally got it settled down. Now they're figuring it out. Lap 24 now of 100. That means next time by, a quarter of the race done.
Watching right now, Rick, the 11 car. He's following Kevin, Dillon, and Jeffrey Clifton. Brian Hacker, not that long ago, Rick, had somebody up on his roof. Oh no, Clifton gets into him, and Hacker goes around. We're under caution, and they pile up again. Oh, lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Well. These guys are not exactly showing restraint here.
Just as I said, they got it figured out.
Well, let's go on back and take a peek at that one. Clifton to the outside, Brian Hacker to the inside. Clifton gets into the wall, and oh man, look at him pile in. Just no place to go, Rick. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Hacker's number 11 machine really beat up Chris.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he didn't maybe blow the motor there, except for he did drive away. Oh man, yeah, he is driving, but that car is starting to look a little bit more like a modified than a super late model, Rick, as that right front tire almost completely exposed because the fender is pushed in so far. Well, back under caution. I believe this is caution number 4 on the night. Here we are, just over a quarter of the race done, and these caution laps do not count towards the race. Guys, if you're just tuning in, you have picked the right spot to be here on a Wednesday night. We're going to keep your heart pumping with this short track action, courtesy of Racing for a Cause. You've got Chris and Rick up here in the booth, bringing you all the action. And Rick, there has been a lot of it here so far.
There has been, Chris. Now, of course, we saw the 25 drivers took the green flag here tonight. So far, 4 of them are out, and that's going to be the 15 of Clifton, who was just involved in that last caution. Dylan Blankenship, Mike Holsclaw, and James Somke all out for the night, so they're packing their stuff up, heading to the hauler to get it all loaded up, back to the race shop to get those cars ready for next week.
Jeffrey Clifton looks like he's going to be... everything's changing. I believe Jeffrey Clifton is going to be the last driver on the lead lap. as scoring and timing changes, trying to keep up.
I'm showing him not even out on track right now. Yeah, he disconnected, my friend.
He did. Yep. Interesting. Okay. Well, there's that then. Yeah, Chris Stump has kind of slipped back just a little bit, Rick. Just a little while ago, he was going to be starting third spot. Now it looks like he's going to be to the outside as Travis Wright was able to get around him for position. Wright going to be starting on the inside second row. So it's Allman, J-Mac, and Travis Wright, your top three. Chris Stump working the outside.
Lights go up on the pace car. You know who made out on that, Chris? Travis Pryor, the number 2 car, up 17 positions now. So he got another one. Working his way slowly up to the front. That's outstanding. Inside the top 10 now. Knocking on the door of the top 5. Having a great night. I know that some fans are out there rooting for him.
Good stuff. Pace car drops down on. We're getting ready to go back into the green flag, waiting for the 67 and Allman. Allman doesn't waste any time getting to that loud pedal, Rick. We are back under green flag conditions, and Allman takes off.
Yeah, I mean, that's something. Once he got up out front, Chris, I knew that it was going to be tough to get him. But J-Mac hanging with him there in the 81 machine, just trying to figure out a way. I mean, it's one thing to hang with him, but now he's got to find a way to pass. And here comes Stump on the outside. Look at Chris Stump working.
Stump trying to get there. Oh, he does. A great move heading into turn 3. Chris Stump with an awesome move down to the inside to take over third spot. Travis Wright, Jeff Dillon right behind him. The 2 of Travis Pryor, Rex Hoyle, Al Smith, Jr. Scott Austin, and Jeff Styles rounding out the top 10. Look at this, Rick. Colin Allman up front. He is starting to put a gap on, and this is the biggest gap we've seen of the night. 0.6 of a second here after only a couple of laps under green flag.
Yeah, that's 67, man. Once it gets in clean air, it just goes. One guy having a little bit of an issue here. Well, not an issue anymore, but Jeff Styles was just stuck on the outside there. The 26 of Kevin Dillon making his comeback. We saw him go for a wild ride there, but the 85 in lots of trouble, stuck there. 18, and tonight's race sponsor, research.com, emptythetanks.org. Free Willy 100, baby. 18's on some moves right now.
The outside lane, Rick, may be starting to come in. Here comes Jeff Styles on the outside. The 5 slow. The 5 is slow, and they split them like a pair of uprights as the 18 goes down below and gets around him. Good racing out of A.J. Hamel to stay out of the back of Scott Austin. Just ahead of A.J. Hamel right now, it's going to be Kevin Dillon. Dillon in the 26 machine. He's down 2 spots since the beginning of this race in 9th position. That puts A.J. Hamel, guys, if you're paying attention, A.J. Hamel is in the top 10, up 11 spots since the beginning of this race. And that car is definitely not straight. Look at the right front on that, heavy damage, but it's not slowing A.J. Hamel down. He is trying to get right into that top 5, maybe go for the win.
He's definitely working for it, Chris, and he picked the track, so hopefully he does well here. I mean, it's hard to stay out of everybody's issues, but that Camaro looking pretty good. Still kept the Camaro. What I like about it, Chris, is if you notice the front, it kind of looks like a whale smile. I like that.
Well, I mean, you say whale smile, I say sheet metal damage, but yeah, I guess. Hey, look, the 85, Jeff Styles, starting to style himself up towards the front. He is working hard on that inside line. The 5 of Scott Austin holds onto the spot, though. A little tap from the 85. Styles gets in the back of Austin. No harm, no foul. Short track racing. We go back up towards the front as we see Chris Stump taking over second spot from J-Mac. J-Mac, who led the first good portion of this race, gave it up to Colin Allman, now gives up second spot to Chris Stump.
You know, Stump has been gaining on the 81 a little bit, Chris. I think that was a smart move because the more that those two raced each other, the further away Allman gets from him. And right now he's got almost a 2-second lead on Chris Stump.
Jeff Dillon sitting in 5th spot wants nothing more than to beat his brother this week after Kevin was able to beat him last week. The 52 trying to get his revenge and right now doing just that.
Look at Travis Pryor, Chris, that 2 machine up 20 positions now in 4th.
Watch out for him, Rick. He is not done yet, up 20 spots, as you said, and he is catching the back bumper of the 81. J-Mac may be slowing down just a little bit as those tires wear in. The 81 may be in trouble here in just a couple of laps. We'll keep it right here and watch the action. Rick, we did have another driver that had a little bit of a problem, but we were able to stay on the green. It was the 53 of Colin Phillip.
I got a little love tap there from the 80 machine, but what a great job by the 53 to keep it. Oh, yeah, he kept it off the wall, both outside and inside wall. So the back to blue 53, back out on track, doing what he's got to do.
Pryor working the inside, Rick. He's trying for 3rd. He goes down low. J-Mac trying to hold the momentum on the outside, has to let off the throttle. The 2 now side by side, door panel to door panel, and Pryor takes over 3rd spot. Up 21 spots. J-Mac looking to try and swap it over. Can't get there. Wow. Good racing here up inside of the top 5 as Travis Pryor takes over 3rd spot, Rick, up 21 spots.
21 spots, and that 2 machine looks really nice. I like the way that that's painted. Got a little bit of red in it, and that black. Looking to try to catch up to Chris Stump right now. Stump doing everything he can, but Colin Allman, man, he's just kind of pulling away, Chris. 2.13 second lead over Stump right now.
Yeah, Stump just not getting there. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize right now. There's a little pop-up in the bottom right-hand side. Oh, we'll make sure that that doesn't happen again, Rick.
I just want to know what he's playing.
It's sad, but I didn't catch it.
Man, you're absolutely right. Travis out there racing hard up into 3rd position right now. Up 21 positions from the start of this race. Get out of the way of the 4 cautions. It worked out for him. That 2 machine looking mighty fine up there.
Yeah, looking good in 2nd spot. The differential between 1st and 2nd right now, 2.287 seconds. So the gap, it's kind of staying about there. Colin will pull up just a little bit. It looks like Stump might be a little bit better in the corners as he starts to catch him going in. So just a slight differential in driving styles there between Colin Allman and Chris Stump. I'll tell you what, anybody who beats Chris Stump, you got to feel pretty good about that. We're talking about a former ASA driver. He drove the high horsepower cars, Rick. He did it for a living, and now he's out there doing it with Racing for a Cause.
And working on the inside of the 53 lap traffic, got to get by him so Colin Allman can extend the lead, even though it's almost 2.5 seconds now. That's big on a short track.
Looks like Pat is actually the painter, Rick. You were talking about it. If you check chat, you were talking about the paint job of that number 2. Pat Allen Chat is the guy that painted it.
Well, that maybe you see me on Trading Paints. I do a lot of cause paints there for a bunch of different drivers there. So, but as a painter, man, that number 2, I like it. There's just something about the red accent with that black, man. It looks outstanding. Those are the kind of paints I like, Chris. As you know, I like the nice, basic paints is what I kind of call them, and I don't mean that as in a bad way. I mean, monsters pop on that thing, and that's what I like about it. And plus, red and black are kind of my favorite colors, as you know.
I do. Well, let's see if we can see the differential. Colin Allman passes the start-finish line right now, and then Chris Stump. So it's Well, it's growing, Rick. 2.6 seconds now. Colin Allman over Chris Stump.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and you're Travis's Nano. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We appreciate it. I love that you're very active in chat also. One thing that I love talking with our viewers. Chris knows. Mr. Wysocki, how you doing, my friend? How did everything go today? Good to see you out there. We missed you last night.
Man, big props for Doug being out there. My goodness, Doug. Buddy, take the night off. He just had a surgery, for crying out loud. I hope you're finding some much needed relief, Doug. As we talked last night, I definitely know what you were going through. Not to the extent of having surgery, but man, the pain is real. And now I'm talking about it, I'm feeling it all over again. Just, oh man. Lordy, I hope you are feeling much, much better, Doug. Travis's mom out there doing Pryor. Hands up. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We're over halfway done with this 100 lap event here at USA International. It used to be located down in Florida, and unfortunately track is no longer running, but awesome of iRacing to keep it going here on iRacing. And man, Rick, I think you and I have turned, I don't even know how many laps on this track, but it is one of the better short tracks out there for sure.
It is. On this track a lot in the rookies with the street stocks and the SKs. K&N or ARCA cars now.
Colin Allman, Rick, may be starting to lose a little bit of that gap because he met up with a couple of slower drivers in a really bad spot right in a corner. He finally does clear them and heads into turn one, and the gap right now 2.57 seconds over Chris Stump. It was closer to 3, so oh, we got one going around here. Gonna have a caution. The 45, Justin Smith, goes around. Oh boy. Guys, if you're watching the field drive by, you can see that tonight has been a little bit on the rough side. Let's go back and take a peek and see what happened with that Federated Auto Parts number 45. The one car, oh boy. You know, I guess we're gonna have to watch that one again, Rick, because I believe there may have been a little exaggeration on iRacing's part here. The one to the inside. Oh no, he did. He got into the back bumper. Actually tried to help him straighten out, but the 45 already had the wheels cranked to the right-hand side and ended up just spinning him even more. So that does bring out yet another caution here tonight. As the nice thing here, Rick, we don't care if it's cautions because laps don't count.
That's right. A Federated car, that's another car, Chris. I mean, obviously, you like Federated Auto Parts.
That was a paint job I wanted you to do for me. Just different,
I know.
different sponsors. I figured it would look good. Under caution one more time here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Rick, how about we just step away for just a quick minute? We got bills to pay here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Yeah, we do. Oh, under caution for number 5 here tonight, lap 57 of 100. Field getting set. The lights are still on the pace car. Guys, a little chance to take a deep breath, tighten the straps, adjust it in their sim rig, grab a drink. Been an exciting night, man. Allman has been a terror ever since he got up to the front. The 67, very good in that clean air. The lights are off on the pace car. We're going to be going green next time by. Nice long green flag run there. The guys really figured out how those cars felt on that long run. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. '67 on the inside, Chris Stump, and the 98 on the outside. The 2 moved up to 3rd position. He's going to be working very hard to help Allman. Allman is gone. The green flag comes out. That go pedal, man, he gets a good start.
Colin Allman with a great start. Once again, heads into turns 1 and 2, but the battle right behind him, Rick, it is for second spot between Chris Stump and Travis Pryor. As we are right back under caution. Travis Wright having an issue on that restart. Too bad for him. He has been having a fantastic night here in that 10 car. Oh, it looks like Al Smith may have locked the jaws on him. As not a lot of damage to the 10 car, thankfully. I'm gonna go back one more time, take a peek at that. And goes through. Well, pretty harmless. May have gotten the rear tires a little hot because he locked them up, but could have been much worse, Rick, as that happened about mid-pack.
Yeah, drivers did a good job, Chris, trying to stay out of the wreck. Big news, though, the 2 now sitting, I believe.
Oh my goodness.
I believe he's going to be in 2nd position, Chris.
I think he is, but that's not what I'm oh my goodnessing. I'm oh my goodnessing the fact that Doug is still in the hospital watching this stream. Doug, I love you, buddy. You know that. I've never had a bad word to say about you. I never will. But you got to concentrate on yourself and getting better.
Yeah, buddy, you should be getting rest, because let me tell you, I mean, I'm sure you already know, but in the hospital, they're not going to let you sleep. They're going to wake you up, and they're going to say, Mr. Wysocki, you need to get more rest. They come in 5 minutes later, just as you start dozing off, and they're like, we need to take blood pressure, and you need to get some rest.
Yeah, you should check your blood, and
all that other good stuff.
You need to order a $42 aspirin, for the pain.
Ain't that the truth?
Top 16 drivers on the lead lap so far. Last lead lap driver, I believe it's going to be Al Smith. I think he took responsibility for that last one. It's going to send him to the end, but AJ Hamel being scored right behind him, actually. So Smith going to be restarting 15th on the inside. AJ Hamel, it looks like, will be 16th. Colin Allman is your race leader. Once he's taken it over, man, is he tough to get around. The guy that's got to try and do it, it's going to be the 2 car, Travis Pryor, who is up 22 positions, Rick. He started in 24th, dead last on the field, and now sits in 2nd spot, just 58 laps into this one.
Just amazing. I mean, that's doing a great job out there, Chris. Paint, I'm telling you. And Nana made the paint, so I mean, that's even more special.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's even more special than when my daughter came down and said, Dad, I want you to paint a car, which I got to debut on Tuesday nights at some point. Help me pick the colors.
It is truly all about family. And I don't think anybody does it any better than the guys here at Racing for a Cause. might be a little partial though, Rick.
And we're maybe a little biased. I mean, it is kind of our league, and that's what it's all about, Chris. We wanted to start this thing as a family. We didn't want to just be like any of the other leagues out there. And
single file restart, Rick. Pace car's off. We're going back. Green flag racing. Colin Allman, I'm telling you, he barely got into turn 3, and he turned the wick up on that number 67. Travis Pryor trying to hold on. Chris Stump sits in 3rd spot. J-Mac, your pole sitter tonight, he is back up into 4th spot after falling back a little bit. And Jeff Dillon, well, he's sitting in 5th.
That is outstanding. Let me tell you, you got to be proud of the boy right now because he is doing a fabulous job. I mean, Allman got a really good restart, Chris, but not usually the jump that we see. Right now, what's the gap here? Less than half a second.
Yeah, less than half of a second, and I'm telling you, Rick, the 2 car is here to race. I don't think we've seen the end of him passing cars here tonight. We'll have to stay tuned to find out. 39 laps to go. Ladies and gentlemen, race fans all around the world, thank you very much for coming on out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. We couldn't be here without you and without our leagues. We really do appreciate both our fans and our leagues, and we hope that we can say it enough, but it never seems to be enough, Rick, does it?
No, it really doesn't, Chris. I mean, the fans with us here are just outstanding. And Mom, I need to know what you feed that boy before he races, because maybe that's my problem. I think I might have found my problem, Chris.
It always comes down to that, doesn't it?
I don't fill the belly before I fill the gas tank, you know?
You know, give him a couple of cheeseburgers from McDonald's and see how fast he drives trying to get it done with. You know, everybody understands what I'm talking about there.
Stay away from that.
Yeah, right. Rex Hoyle not doing a bad job here tonight, Rick. He started 4th spot. He slipped back out in the 6th place, but you know what? 5th spot, it's within sight. And Justin Rigsby, he's right behind Hoyle, sitting in 7th spot. Rigsby having a good night too. Don't let the damage on the front end fool you. He's up 11 spots here tonight. Other big gainers on the night. How about the 44, Mark Frabert? Haven't even called his number yet, Rick. He's been very silently moving forward. He's up 10 spots into the top 10 in 10th spot.
I like his hood decal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know you do, bud.
That's all I'm saying.
Last week, Kevin Dillon was able to pull one out and beat his brother as far as car position. We know Colin Allman won the race, but Kevin Dillon was able to beat his brother, and you know the brothers Dillon had to be talking about that throughout the week. This week, not having the same luck as Jeff Dillon, sits in 5th spot. Kevin Dillon sits in 11, just 6 spots behind. Behind them, it is a battle, Rick, for 12th position in the 96 of Al Smith Jr. We just saw him kind of cause that last caution. He is motoring himself back up towards the front, and Al Smith Jr. now sits in 12th spot.
Yeah, driving a little red in his eyes, maybe, Chris, maybe not towards any driver in particular, but maybe just his luck here tonight, and he finally gets around the 85. The 85's got to be careful because the 10's right behind him.
And Travis Wright has been no slouch here tonight, but it does seem since he's dropped out of the top 5, Rick, he hasn't been quite the same driver. Travis Wright actually just hit the curbing that's around turn 4, came off from 4 very, very loose. Otherwise, I think he had a pretty good run and maybe could have gone around Styles, but has to reset, try over it one more time as they enter into turn 3. You see him kind of close in. Man is right on that yellow line.
Right on the yellow line.
Into turns 1 and 2 now, right down to the inside. Styles stuck outside. Right, trying on the inside in the Ford Mustang. It's Chevy and Ford. Ford to the inside. Travis Wright tries to get there. The Chevy holds on for just a moment, but way to the outside. At the line, it is Travis Wright. Wright gets there with the Ford.
Here comes the 72 of Andy Lambert to kind of follow the 10 right into position. Thinks better of it. That's kind of what happened with Rex Hoyle, Chris. We talked about him a little earlier now. Hoyle sitting in 7th position, down 3 positions. But the reason why he's down from those positions because he got stuck on the outside. Now that we got 72 laps out there, I mean, the outside's starting to come into play a little bit, but obviously that inside lane, that's where you want to be.
I think if you're a fast driver anyway, the outside's going to be okay. If you're willing to make it go there and you're willing to hold the throttle down just a little bit more and pick up the throttle a little bit early, I think you're okay there. If you're not right on your game, Rick, that's a good way to spin the car. So you have to be very, very careful on that outside. Battle for second spot. It is Travis Pryor. He has fallen back a little bit now from Colin Allman. Allman has picked up a 1.5 second gap over second place Travis Pryor. Chris Stump sitting in that third spot, about a 0.6 of a second behind Pryor. So no real pressure on the back bumper of the 2 car until maybe Stump can figure out a way to counter what Pryor is doing on track. Your pole sitter for tonight, the 81 J-Mac, sitting in 4th spot, but Jeff Dillon, boy, we had the shark music last week for Al Smith, but maybe it should be here for Jeff Dillon as he is getting ever so close to the back bumper of the 81. Rick, we're talking feet, buddy.
We are, and J-Mac, sitting in 4th, Chris, we talked about, of course, started out here on the pole here tonight, and a really fast lap down so far. The fastest one so far, 19.942. Allman been racing. His fast lap is a 19.977. So you can do the math a little bit there, but McIntyre, I don't know. He's looking the race here tonight.
Yeah, of course. That quick lap was on fresh tires. And what you do with fresh tires as opposed to worn tires and the consistency of it all, Rick, is what has brought Colin Allman up to the front, up 7 spots from the beginning of this one. Started in 8th spot. Now your race leader, has been for some time. 22 laps to go as he drops into turn 1.
And Pryor still doing a fabulous job. Now, Chris, we heard in chat there, I don't know if you saw it or not, but supposedly he does really good on old tires, and I can see that because knowing exactly what he needs. He's trying to catch up to Allman, but right now he's pulling away from Stump a little bit.
Let's see. I did miss that. So much chat out there tonight, and guys, I love it. Thank you so much for keeping that chat active and wishing Doug well. Again, just a class act, Doug Wasaki, and hope you're out of the hospital here soon, Doug. Don't know if you're staying overnight or not, but man, get well soon, brother. Colin Allman goes around another one. The 45 has multiple laps down. Justin Smith Jr. in that Federated Auto Parts car. Colin Allman leads the way. 19 laps to go, Rick. And this one is starting to feel like maybe, just maybe, we're going to go green the rest of the way.
I think the drivers really figured it out, Chris. I mean, they're embarrassed having, what is it, up to 6 cautions now, and it's not something that we're used to seeing. But they got it figured out now, and having a couple of good green flag runs. And I think you're right. I think we're about to see it go green the rest of the way.
I'd be okay with it. There's no doubt about it. Let's take a check in on our race leader. He is following the 1 car, Wayne McDuff III, and Wayne does a great job getting out of the race leader's way, moves up on the track. Allman goes right around, no problem at all, and he motors on by. Coming out of turn 4 onto the front stretch, Colin Allman goes across the start-finish line. Rick, just 16 laps left. Does anybody have a shot here against Colin Allman without a caution coming out? Because that gap right now, 2:45.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big gap to try and make up here under green with so few laps around this 0.6 of a mile track.
It's going to go quick there. These lap times are pretty quick, and Pryor doing everything that he can to try to get up there and kind of holding it steady there. Not really, it's decreasing a little bit there. All depends on where they are on the track there, but Pryor, of course, got to deal with the lap traffic that Allman has already dealt with. Now he's getting to the back bumper of the 1 machine there, so he's going to try to get around the 1 of McDuff. Wayne
Yeah, not quite there yet. Coming out of turn 4 onto the front stretch, still hasn't caught McDuff. The 2 car starting to slide backwards just a little bit more, 2.6 seconds. Travis Pryor with a great race here tonight. Nothing can take that away from him.
Look at that move. Took him on the inside. That was a fabulous move by the 2.
And you know what? He had to do that with Chris Stump behind him. He could not afford Rick to be caught up behind the 1 car. Stump, the wily veteran that he is, he would have taken advantage of that. But as you said, Travis Pryor did a great job getting around the 1 car. J-Mac, our pole sitter on the evening, sitting in 4th position. He's down 3 spots in 4th place. J-Mac holding on. We'll love to see a top 5 out of this event. As man, you start on the pole and you really don't want to slide back more than that. Justin Rigsby has found some speed late on this one. Rigsby in the 99 has made his way all the way up to 5th spot. He's up 13 positions, Rick. He's the 2nd biggest mover of the night.
And of course, we know Rigsby got caught up in a little bit of action earlier on in the race there. I mean, the 99 beat up Chris, but definitely not giving up out there, and it's paying off for him as he's sitting in the top 5 now.
Jeff Dillon right behind him in the 52 car. Really just trying to beat his brother, I think, at this point. And he looks like he might do that. Rex Hoyle and Brian Hacker. Hacker not having the race that he wanted, Rick, but surprisingly, and I say this because he just kind of seems to be like a big magnet out there for trouble. Brian Hacker sitting in 8th spot right behind Rex Hoyle, and he's starting to put a little pressure on. Heading into turn 1.
I got a good run there in turn 1. Had to slow up just a little bit. Rex Hoyle trying to keep him back there, but Hacker, he ain't done yet. Now he was working on the inside, trying to get around the 54 of Hoyle. Able to do it? No, not that time by.
Hacker not able to get there, falls back in line, now dives deep into turn 1. Brian Hacker trying everything he can to get around Rex Hoyle, can't do it again on the backstretch, follows the 54, and now down onto the bottom again for Brian Hacker. The 54 has found his line, and he is just holding solid right now, heading into turn 1.
That's down a little lower this time to try to keep Hacker behind him, but man, Rex Hoyle doing a fabulous job. Oh, the 11 giving a little bump. I'm right here, boy, I'm gonna try. Rex Hoyle's like, bring it, son.
Rex doing a fantastic, oh, watch out for that. Oh, the 45 on the way, the 54 almost got into the back. He gets underneath heading into turn 1. Here comes the 11, they stock up now. The 5 of Scott Austin bringing it on in. 4 laps to go for Colin Allman, and the battle is heating up here mid-pack. Look at the cars out there, all getting stacked up. Al Smith Jr. at one point got the EOL for causing a caution to come out. He's worked his way back up to 11th position, and he has got all kinds of speed, but nowhere to go as these cars in front of him are just kind of stacking up, taking the lines away.
Ooh, the 5 making an aggressive move there, Chris. Oh, that was a good run by Mr. Austin.
Popsicle sticks are in the air for our race leader, the 67 of Colin Allman. 3.88 second lead over Travis Pryor as Colin Allman comes out of turns 3 and 4. Flash bulbs in the air. White flag is out. One more lap, 0.6 of a mile for Colin Allman heading into turns 1 and 2. And that car not leaving the yellow line, out towards the wall on the backstretch, getting ready to set up for turns 3 and 4. He comes back down to that yellow line. And on the front stretch, our race winner tonight, it's going to be the 67 once again of Colin Allman. Travis Pryor takes 2nd spot. Chris Stump rounds out the top 3.
We got the 99 of Rigsby, Jeff Dillon, the 52, rounding out the top 5. J-Mac in the 81 finishes 6th. Rex Hoyle with that hard battle, Chris. I was watching that all the way through. 7th, Brian Hacker. 8th, Scott Austin in the 5. 9th, rounding out that top 10, the 96 of Al Smith Jr. Then you got Kevin Dillon, Travis Wright, AJ Hamel, Mark Frabert, Andy Lambert, Jeff Stiles, Colin Phillip, Wild Wayne McDuff III, and Justin Smith, and Rob Liddell rounding out the top 20. Then Jeffrey Clifton, Michael Frabert, Dylan Blankenship, Mike Holsclaw, and James Somke rounding out the field.
Rick, normally we would step away, but these guys, it looks like, heck yeah, they're ready to go right now. Give us like 2 seconds, guys. We're setting up that post-race interviews coming live at you from the Skittles victory lane.
There we go. We are ready.
Ready to go.
Like that.
How about this? The 98 of Chris Stump finishing in 3rd spot tonight. Chris, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Stump, a better finish than last night. Sitting there in 3rd spot, bud. The car looked pretty decent, but it looked like maybe on the long runs, at first it would go away, and then it looks like it comes back on the long runs. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. What say you in the 98 machine?
Yeah, you have a pretty good synopsis there. I had good short run speed, and then middle of the run I would tail off, and then I'd start to pick back up towards the end. But Colin was in his own time zone as expected, and then once Travis got around me, he was a little bit better than me. We were all just kind of running our own pace. I don't know how far we ended up ahead of everyone, but I think it was a decent amount. But it is what it is, kind of where I expected to be once I saw Travis make his way up through the field, and he was really good in practice, and just kind of raced to finish 3rd at that point.
Well, and it was an incredible race, Chris. It was a lot of fun to call this one. There was a lot of cautions out there, and anything can happen with those cautions, but hey, take your 3rd place, run into next week. It was a good finish. Who do you have on the 98 that you need to thank here tonight, bud?
Got Humanizing the Badge. They're an organization of first responders, mostly law enforcement, bridging the gap between law enforcement and their communities, and they also have service for at-risk first responders having issues, mental health issues, and substance abuse issues. So go check them out.
That's awesome, bud. Thank you for spending a little time with us here in Victory Lane. Chris, we'll let you go back down and celebrate with your team.
Thank you.
Chris Stump, driver of the number 98, bringing it home in 3rd spot. And that's going to bring us, Rick, to our 2nd place finisher. I believe you caught up with the 2-car, Travis Pryor.
I did. The driver of the 2, Pryor Racing Machine, Travis Pryor. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, man, what an outstanding night for you, gaining 22 spots from the start of the race, finishing 2nd, man. That was outstanding.
Yeah. I noticed there wasn't any qualifying for this race, so I didn't know how the starting lineup was going to be. And whenever he said it's based off of your finishing order last week, I knew I was going to be in a tough situation trying to make my way through the field. But yeah, I just try to be patient as I could be. And by the time I got up there to 2nd place, I had no tires. I couldn't do anything to keep up with the 67 right there. He was really fast. He got me like I was sitting still, but I had no tires, so I just had to hope I was good enough to fight off 3rd place there, and I'll take a 2nd place and see what I can do next week.
All right, man. Hey, listen, you got all kinds of family out here on chat. They've been keeping us active all night. It's great to see. I see that Nana has painted the car, and I love the car, man. It's very simple, but everything pops on it. So congratulations, and anybody on that 2 machine that you would like to thank?
Yeah, gotta thank T for designing all the cars I run, all the paints. Our family is all about a nice car, even in the virtual world. So, gotta thank her. Gotta thank my mom. She's able to tune in. It's awesome having her in here, and have my uncle in here giving me tips and pointers and everything like that. Anything I've learned from him. So, gotta thank him for giving me support. My mom and anyone else that takes the time to watch me do what I love, which is race. So thank you.
Welcome, bud. Hey, listen, I got one more question for you. Because in chat, Mom said that she feeds you, and I got to know, what do you eat before a race?
This one, I didn't eat anything before the race. I ate after I got off work, and but usually she'll cook up something nice for a league race. But this is pretty kind of last minute, so she probably didn't have any time to make anything. But she usually feeds me pretty well before a league race.
That's what I thought, buddy. Hey, listen, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you what you can do next week there. Bring that momentum right with you.
Awesome, thank you. See you then.
And that was the number 2, Travis Pryor, bringing it home in second spot, up 22 positions from the beginning of this one. And that leaves us with just one person to talk to. It is going to be Colin Allman, driver of the number 67. Colin, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, bud, 2 weeks in a row. Here we are in victory lane. One more time here for the 67. The car took a little bit to get up front, but once he did, oh my goodness, did you open up a can?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. First off, I got to apologize to Brian Hacker. Got into him on 4 early in the race. I know he's going to owe me one after this one, but yeah, it was a lot of fun racing tonight outside of that. Everyone was really clean. It was a lot of good, clean racing. We got some long green flag runs in. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch. Common, the car kind of seemed like it was on a rail there for the last 60 or 65 laps. Who do you got on the 67 that you need to thank here tonight?
I got to thank the guys at Front Stretch Mafia and you guys for doing the broadcast and Adam for running the league. It's a lot of fun to come out here every week and compete.
Well, it was definitely a lot of fun. Colin, thank you very much for joining us in victory lane. Go on down with your team and celebrate.
Thank you, guys.
Colin Allman, driver of the number 67, and that leaves us with, well, Rick, it leaves us with not much to talk about other than here we are, done once again on the night, and what a night it was here for the Racing for a Cause guys. It was a lot of fun, and I want to thank everybody out there in chat: Pat, Linda, Doug, Joanne, Jay, Skittle, Car One, everybody out there that really did participate in tonight's chat. I can't thank you enough, guys. We do this out of a love of racing, but it certainly does help to have other people around that love racing and love family as much as we do. And with that, with the pandemic still going on, we ask that you stay safe and make sure to check out Turn 3 Racing Network. Just about every single night, we've got something going on, whether it be myself and Rick, Roger, Darkside Cave Dave, we got KR Stolfus, we got Al Smith Jr., we got a whole stable of announcers ready to bring you the action just about every single night. And until next week, thank you, and we will see you later.
Simulated racing